Welcome back to Vibes and Chemistry, your go-to spot for real talk on love, dating, and relationships. I'm your host, Kai. For today's conversation, let's get into it. Friends with benefits. Can it actually work, or is it just a ticking time bomb waiting to blow up? It can feel like a simple scenario. Two people decide, hey, let's keep this fun, no strings attached, no feelings involved. Sounds easy, right? But let's be real here. When has anything involving human emotions ever been that simple? So today, we're breaking it all the way down. Can a friends with benefits situation ever really work? And if so, how? Segment 1. Why people think friends with benefits is the perfect setup. 1. No pressure, no expectations. Relationships come with responsibilities, checking in, making time, emotional labor. But a friends with benefits situation, it's like, hey, we're both grown. Let's keep it fun and light. No stress, no drama. Sounds perfect, right? Except emotions don't work like that. 2. It's convenient. You already know this person. You trust them, and you don't have to go through the awkward getting to know you phase. No bad first dates, no ghosting, just a guaranteed good time with someone you actually like being around. Sounds like a win-win until someone starts catching feelings. And 3. People think they can keep it casual. There's this idea that as long as you both agree to the rules up front, no feelings, no drama, no expectations, then it'll stay that way. But here's the thing. You can set all the rules you want, but human nature doesn't care about your little agreement. Spend enough time with someone, build enough intimacy, and eventually, somebody's gonna start feeling something. And that's when things start getting interesting, or complicated depending on how you look at it. So yeah, on the surface, friends with benefits sounds like the best of both worlds. But what most people don't realize is that once you blur the lines between friendship and intimacy, there's no clean way to navigate it, and that's where the real problems start. Alright, now that we know why people jump into these situations, let's talk about why they rarely go the way people expect. Because if you think a friends with benefits setup is always gonna stay casual, I've got news for you. Segment 2, the 3 biggest risks of friends with benefits. First up, someone always catches feelings. I don't care how much y'all agree to keep it casual. When you're sharing intimacy with someone consistently, it's human nature to start feeling something. One person starts texting a little more, looking for emotional connection, maybe even low-key getting jealous when the other person starts talking about dating other people. Boom, just like that. The no feelings rule goes out the window. Second, communication gets messy. In a relationship, you can express your needs and expect some level of accountability. But in a friends with benefits situation, that's a gray area. Can you be mad if they ghost for a few days? Can you ask them to check in on you when you're feeling down? There's no rule book, which leads to confusion and frustration. And third, it's hard to go back to just friends. Once that line is crossed, things change. Even if you think you can keep it strictly physical, what happens when one of you starts dating someone seriously? Is the friendship still intact, or does it just fade? Most of the time, when a friends with benefits situation ends, so does the friendship. And that's something people don't always think about before jumping in. Segment 3, when can friends with benefits actually work? Now let's flip it. Is there ever a scenario where friends with benefits actually works? Yes, but only under very specific circumstances. Here's what needs to be in place for it to have a shot at working. 1. Both people have the same mindset. If one person is secretly hoping it turns into something serious, while the other is just here for fun, it's doomed. 2. Strict boundaries are set. You have to talk about expectations. Can you see other people? Can you text just to check in? Are you sleeping over? All of this needs to be clear from the jump. 3. Emotions are kept in check. And this is the hardest part. If you start feeling any kind of attachment, be real with yourself. It's better to step away than to let it turn into a painful situation. And even then, it's still a gamble. Segment 4, the real question, what do you want? Why are you considering a friends with benefits situation? Is it because you truly just want something casual? Or is it because you're low-key settling for a situationship with someone you actually want more from? because a lot of people agree to friends with benefits, not because they don't want a relationship, but because they're hoping the other person will eventually change their mind. And that's a recipe for heartbreak. So ask yourself, are you emotionally built for something like this? Because if you know you need emotional connection with intimacy, then friends with benefits is going to be a losing game for you every time. Segment 5, should you do it? So, will a friends with benefit situation ever really work? Honestly, most of the time, no. The emotional risks are way higher than people expect, and more often than not, someone ends up hurt. But if both people are genuinely on the same page, and they can handle it without complications, it can work for a while. Most situations have an expiration date. Either one person starts catching feelings, someone gets into a real relationship, or the vibe shifts and it just stops feeling the same. And when that expiration date hits, you gotta ask yourself, was it worth it? Did you really just have fun? Or are you leaving this situation with emotional baggage, awkward tension, and possibly even a lost friendship? You're spending time together, being intimate, sharing a connection. And the more you do that, the harder it is to separate emotions from actions. Think about it. When's the last time you had a deep, intimate connection with someone and it didn't change the dynamic? Exactly. At the end of the day, it's a gamble. It can be fun, it can be exciting, but it also comes with risks that most people don't think about until it's too late. So before you dive in, just be honest with yourself, because once emotions get involved, there's no going back to just friends, like nothing ever happened. And if you do go for it, just know the odds are really not in your favor. All right, y'all, I need to hear from you on this one. Have you ever had a friends with benefits situation? Did it work or did it get messy real fast? Drop your stories in the comments. I'll be down there reading and responding. And if you're feeling this conversation, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Because trust me, we have so much more to unpack when it comes to love, dating, and all the things nobody really teaches us. Until next time, stay vibing, stay growing, and remember, chemistry is everything. Peace.